Trevor Bauer was suspended for 2 years by Major League Baseball on Friday, triggering a new front in Bauer's efforts to fight sexual assault allegations that could keep him off the field until well into the 2024 season. The Dodgers pitcher can pursue an expedited appeal to the league's independent arbitrator. He cannot play during the appeal process. Of the 16 players suspended under baseball's sexual assault and domestic violence policy, Bauer is the first not to agree to a negotiated settlement. He could argue that he does not warrant any suspension because he did nothing wrong, and that Commissioner Rob Manfred has suspended him for unconventional but consensual sex rather than for sexual assault. In the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of the league's domestic vi. I am appealing this action and expect to prevail. In a statement, Manfred said the league's investigation had concluded, and he had determined Bauer's conduct violated the policy and warranted a suspension. In statements announcing such suspensions, the league does not reveal the specific conduct that triggered the discipline, in accordance with the collectively bargained policy. An arbitrator can reduce or overturn a suspension. In 2014, when MLB suspended Alex Rodriguez for 211 games for use and possession of numerous forms of prohibited performance-enhancing substances, over the course of multiple years, an arbitrator reduced the suspension to 162 games. In 2012, after Ryan Braun had been suspended 50 games for testing positive for performance-enhancing substances, the suspension was thrown out via arbitration because testing protocols had not been followed. Previous suspensions under the policy ranged from 15 to 162 games. Negotiated settlements are not considered as precedent, so the league could not tell an arbitrator its suspension of Bauer is in line with previous suspensions under the policy. However, the policy negotiated with the players' union calls for sexual assault and domestic violence policies comparable, in scope and discipline for team employees, league officials and owners. The league could argue that a precedent was set in 2019 by the 4-month suspension of San Francisco Giants president Larry Baer, whose wife fell to the ground after he reached for her cell phone during an argument. Bauer's case is the first with more than one publicly identified accuser. An Ohio woman applied for a restraining order against Bauer amid her allegations of sexual assault, according to The Washington Post. The application later was withdrawn, and Bauer's attorneys dismissed those allegations as baseless.